Live. What is up, everybody? Glad to be back for episode 32 of By the Rumor. Christine, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Anything notable?
I can't get my mind off how I suck at fantasy football.
See, we're to where we complete each other's sentences now, because I knew you were going to say that I suck at, and I knew you were going to say fantasy football because
oh my gosh.
I just knew. Do you want to ask me anything? Because I'm 9-1, and
I know. Do you think you're gonna win this year?
I don't feel like my team's very good. I don't know why we're 9-1. I don't have the most point. I have like the third most points in the league. So why am I 9-1? Nobody knows.
I don't know. Nobody knows.
But every time I play like one of the other really good teams, I win. I don't know how I've done it.
Did you use AI?
I have not used AI. This is all
interesting.
This is all me. I am
don't
a football. You don't have to believe me. I am a football fan, and I'm also a basketball fan. I don't know if you know this. Do you know who Nico Harrison is?
No, who's that?
He is, was the Dallas Mavericks general manager. And what you do as a general manager, Christine, in case you don't know, is you decide what trades happen. For instance, Let's say you have a generational talent, one that comes along once every 20 years or so, and he plays for your team. And he takes your team to the Western Conference, to the NBA Finals. They win the Western Conference, NBA Finals, and then you trade him 6 months later to your hometown, the Los Angeles Lakers. When you do that, you deserve to get fired. And Nico Harrison, you had this coming to you. He was fired this morning. Somehow millions of fans knew what was supposed to happen, and yet the guy that's a former shoe executive, that's where we got him from, by the way. We got him from Nike.
What shoe?
Nike.
Oh, Nike.
Yeah, we got him from Nike. He had never, general managed a team before, and we thought, let's trade away a generational
That's so silly.
talent. Well,
silly.
Anyway, hope you enjoy him, Lakers. We fired him today, but unless Nico Harrison goes and works for the Lakers, which it seems like he was if he traded away Luka. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. Well, anyway, now that I've ranted about that.
Are you on fantasy basketball teams or anything?
I have been, but I'm not now.
Okay. Is it much harder than
Well, it's more like daily you need to keep up with it and not once a week.
Yeah. That's hard.
It's a little tougher. I've also done fantasy baseball before too. But fantasy football is working out for me so far this week. Well, anyway, welcome to episode 32 of By the Rumor on By the
32?
Rumor. I know, it's crazy. We're just moving on and moving on. We are going to cover all of these topics right here next to Christine's head, to the right side of your screen over there. We'll talk about all of those things. Plus, Christine's got some hot opinions on a 50-year mortgage. Okay, I want to hear what she has to say about that, because I have a few things I would like to say about that. And then I want to talk about AI. Is it a bubble, or are we just getting started with AI? And we'll see what I say about that. I've got a few things I want to fire off on that. Besides that, let's get started. Let me bring up my little master control up here. Let's talk about some Gen Z struggles. Were you aware that Gen Z is struggling? Have you heard this? Have you heard that before?
I was unaware because I thought everybody was struggling, but let's hear it.
Well, keep in mind, everyone else had a few generations of not this economy to build up their place in this financial world. But there's a new survey that found out that Gen Z is no longer interested in climbing the corporate ladder. They don't think wealth is the only indicator of success. Living debt-free, living debt-free is the core of Gen Z's main financial goals, which to me, that's one of the things that wealth can. Anyway, as Gen Z searches for stability in both their career and personal finances, they're asking for their parents for extra support. So do you think, this is my own opinion, I think Gen Z is facing an economic slump because they are just getting into the workforce, right? They don't have a few decades before this horrible economy to have built up themselves, established themselves, gotten a house, that sort of thing. No, instead they've got crushing debt. They're trying to, they may have crushing debt if they're getting into college. The millennials have the crushing debt.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
That's a
and
big
then
one.
yeah, so they're trying to somehow make it in this world, in this horrible economy that we're in. So why do you feel that you were closer to Gen Z as far as parenthood's concerned? So you see Gen Z people. Do you think that they feel like that they are struggling?
I do feel like a lot of the Gen Z that I know, like a
Yeah,
lot of them from like my kids' friends and stuff, like a lot of them are very much supported by their families.
right.
And I think a lot of people, as far as like millennials or older, a lot of the time parents were like, hey, you're 18, like figure it out, you're out. Or, you're pitching in this and that. But I don't see that much often now. It's very much like, hey, we'll support you through because of the crippling debt that these degrees give you. Like a 4 year undergrad degree will set you back, can set you back like what, 150, 200 grand. And that's
Yeah.
without your grad. And we talked about a little bit about this last week, but it's pretty
I
crazy.
should have I should have asked you this last week.
Yeah.
What is the ratio you think of salary to debt that you think is good? Like, let's say it costs $200,000 to get your degree. Do you think
Mhm.
that $200,000 degree that's financed through loans should be able to get what annual salary? What is it? A $100,000 annual salary you should get from a $200,000 degree? What do you think is the annual salary you should get? What's the ratio?
I feel like that you should, if you're going to have a $200,000 debt for school, your salary should be equivalent to that or more. But it's never, I don't see that. And, like a lot of the medical degrees, you would know this,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of that costs 200,
Yes.
close to 200 and higher. So why should a $200,000 degree equate to a $100,000 annual salary? And by the way, $100,000 household salary here is poverty level now. So
Yeah, sure, sure. And that's different from different parts of the country. I understand that. But so you're saying it should be a 1 to 1. Whatever you spend in it, that's what you should make annually.
it should
Is what
be, but it's never, I don't think it's ever
no.
been that way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not really. I might even be able to go for a 1 to 2. If you spend $200,000, if you make $100,000 on it, maybe a 1.5. Maybe if you spend 200, you should make 150,000, something like that. But there's some people that are spending $250,000 on an education and making $60,000, and their career is going to top out at $80,000, and they're never going to pay off that debt. They're just not going to be able to.
It's insane. We
Yeah,
talked about this as well last week where we know people that are like 50s, almost 60, and they're still paying their college debt. And a lot of them are like, should I have went this route? Who knows? Too late. Will I force my child to get like a, degree that's going to set them back like to paying their debt still at like their 50s? Don't know.
well, to me, it ought to start with this conversation with like your daughter or me someday with my kids. Is this conversation should be like, well, you want to go into debt for this, okay? What is it going to pay, okay? And what can it pay, okay? So if the starting salary of whatever the career is $120,000, something like that. But you tell me, yes, but within a few years, with the right promotions, with the right whatever, could make 180, $200,000, then I might say, okay, maybe. But I think you've got too many people that are going to college just to say they went to college, because that was a big thing. I
Right.
remember with my generation, there would be my friends' parents that'd be like, just to get a degree in anything. Just the fact that you have a degree will help you out in the workplace. Well, I disagreed with it then, and I disagree with it now. Just having a degree sometimes is just proving that you were willing to, spend $150,000 for a piece of paper that didn't lead to anything. So, anyway, that's a part two from last week's conversation, I
That's a
guess.
part two. And to add on to that, the big, beautiful bill
Mm-hmm.
um, has made revisions on the college tuitions. And that's, I don't know if that's for moving people towards like really thinking about the path that you're about to take and having those real conversations of, hey, is it worth it to take 200,000, $300,000 in a loan that's going to take you forever to pay off, and then when in all actuality your salary isn't even close to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that perspective. I know that a lot of my daughter wants to be a dentist, so she got her bachelor's and now she's waiting for acceptances to a school for dentistry. And she's worried about the people that haven't got grandfathered into the loans because the
Yeah.
actual loans for to go to school for medical, like a doctor of
Hmm.
anything, is way higher than what the government is going to allow, for the grants and
Yeah.
whatever, like loans. So it doesn't make sense, but also, I mean, there's always private funding or loans and stuff, but it's still crazy. The tuitions are so high. It
They
needs
are.
to be,
Look,
I
I
think
got
it's,
whenever I got
yeah.
into school, I got a few scholarships, right? But they, especially now with the costs now, they just scratch the surface of what a scholarship can cost. So scholarships are good, and obviously life is better with them if you're a student that gets them. But it's so astronomical now. You know, if something costs $200,000 and you get a $500 scholarship, yes, that $500 is great, but it just scratches the surface of what is
Yeah.
necessary. All right, let's move
Crazy.
on to the next one. AI job loss. People reveal that they're losing their jobs to artificial intelligence. Now, you and I have talked about this for some time, but the problem is people, it's actually starting to happen. Okay. Let me see if I can get you a stat here. This is somebody in tech support. They say, I'm going through it right now. I'm going to be fully transparent here. To preface, I didn't lose my job to just AI, but to outsourcing in tandem with AI that our C-level execs thought could perform on par with US employees. So before, and I know you know this, or you've probably heard this, before everybody was worried that their job was going to be outsourced to India or whatever, right? Because people
Right, right,
could do
right.
their job remotely for pennies on the dollar offshore, right? And people were always worried about that. Now they're worried about that plus AI, right? So now you're worried about, oh, it could be done cheaply, more cheaply, which we knew that industries would do because it was just so much cheaper. But now they're worried about AI doing the exact same thing. Is this something that is that just the natural logical progression? We were worried about humans doing it offshore. Now we're worried about robots doing it from a data center. Is that just the next evolution in our worry about jobs?
Oh, yeah, it's been. I called a restaurant and I thought I was talking to an actual hostess because she was like sighing and, okay, let me look. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm like talking to her, and then I started realizing 30 seconds in, like, wait a minute. This is one of those AI robots that sound like
And it was
Victoria or
convincing.
like,
It was convincing.
yeah, it really was. And then on top of that, my daughter's boyfriend is a police officer, and he was letting us know that he was at court the other day, and the court reporters, you know how forever it's been where they're just typing,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah.
hard job to do. He said that they have like this uh almost like a megaphone, but it's like twisted the other way where it like covers their face, and they're just speaking into it. So everything he is saying or anyone on the stand, they're instead of typing, they're just speaking into this like backwards megaphone.
What?
And I'm like, so in reality, they're on the chopping block because AI could be connected to all the witness stands microphones. So
Yeah.
they're almost done.
So wait a second. Why aren't they doing that right now? Why do they have somebody that's like Charlie Brown
Yeah,
talking, into the little thing?
right.
Why are they even doing that?
I don't know. Maybe just trying to secure their careers because I know it's a good paying career because I know these two sisters that have been these court reporters for years and they do really well. And they told me they went, the school's not too long, but they do really well. But they type so fast or whatever. Now they don't have to. You just have to speak clearly. That doesn't make sense. Your job is non-existent already. They're just trying to like soften the blow. You better freaking get the heck out of there and find another career because there's no way. That means we all could talk into this megaphone.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's a job that within a year that'll be gone because they'll
Oh,
realize
yeah.
why not just save the money for that. Very very interesting.
Crazy. And
Yeah.
that's, so many jobs are going to be lost. I think it's just trying to find the last ones that they could grab onto. And it's starting to look like that universal basic income thing is going to be a lot closer than we thought. And I
I
see it a lot on TikTok comments.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One time, if you really want to test this out, one time I used the term universal basic income or UBI in a tweet. And all of a sudden, all the replies started filling in. It's like they've got, and I don't know if it was bots. I really think it was people that were looking for a fight. They started talking to me about UBI. So
They're like, shut up.
no, no, no. They were for
See?
it. They were for
Isn't
it.
that crazy? Because I thought the initial reaction would be very knee jerk, like, what are you talking about? No, you know, I have dreams. I want to be this. I want to be that. But it's almost looked down upon to the point where, California is a high crime rate place and people will get robbed from their like Rolexes or super nice cars are getting carjacked. And the comments under are, well, shouldn't flex when the rest of the state is doing bad or all these people are doing bad. That's what you get. Like, I don't know. Everything's upside down now.
It
So
is. That
what
is.
do we know? Nothing.
We don't know. No, that's for sure. We don't know anything. All right. Private equity. Okay. They always making a play for all of these different kind of industries. Well, they're going to start going after electric utilities. Data centers are requiring significant electricity, and private equity firms are going to buy utility companies, potentially affecting electric bills for customers across the U.S. So, Christine, is this good or bad? When you pay your electric bill, is it going to be, and your electric bill might be owned by, who knows? I don't know who your electric companies are out there, but are you ready for private equity firms to be owning your electric companies? And they are there merely to make a profit, right? That's why they get into the business. That's why PE firms get into business, is to make a profit. Does that concern you that private equity firms may start buying electric utilities?
Yeah. Private anything is kind of could be more bad news than good. And I think that out here in California, like our electrical companies are already like just
Well,
just giving us like the worst kind of.
and this is only going to get worse. I'll
Yeah.
talk about it in my AI potential bubble talk here in a bit, but we need electricity in this country, in this world, more than ever before. And I think that's why private equity is making a play. There is such a need to charge your car, to be able to run, any type of data center. Almost everything you touch has a battery associated with it. Are you on a laptop right now or a desktop? I don't know. Doesn't matter. You have a phone near you.
Yeah.
Battery. Car. Battery. Everything else, battery. Everything's going to need all this electrical charge to be able to
Right.
make happen. AI data centers, electricity that it's needed to make it run. Everything. It used to be oil, and everybody said, data is the new oil. No, it's electricity. Bitcoin, it runs on electricity. If we don't have electricity, we don't have Bitcoin. We've got to be able to have electricity, and PE firms know this, and they're going to make money off of it for sure.
What's your thoughts on private equity firms coming in?
I don't think it's good for the consumer. I completely understand it why private equity firms are doing it. There is money to be made by owning it. Now, I can't go own an electric company. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
wish I could. I can't go own an electric company, but I do think that electricity is the next big. Honestly, it's not the next big thing. We are already there, but it is big, and there is money to be made for it because there is a demand for that product more than ever before. All right, unusual education. How willing would you be in Japan to learn about different animals? The Ottawa Aquarium in Kobe, Japan, intriguingly offers its visitors the chance to learn what various animal butts smell like. It could spark discussions on novel approaches to education and visitor engagement in U.S. museums and zoos. So, Christine, you're gonna
How
take your.
much money is being poured into this?
Well, I don't know, but it's gonna be your $15, your $20 entry fee, and you're gonna take your grandkids to the zoo someday, okay? And they're gonna be like, "Yay, yay, Nana! What are you gonna take us to do?" And you're like, "Do y'all want to go to the butt exhibit?" Yay! And they all go out there, and y'all go, and you have to smell different butts
And try
from.
to identify.
Correct. It says, let me see if I can. It says, if you're in Kobe looking for a fun place to take kids, an aquarium never disappoints. Uh, oh, there's actual.
No.
Wait, listen to this. It's not actual butts. Well, I don't know if it is or not, but it's portraits. Like in like
Scratch and
in
sniff?
yes, yes, yes. It's like portraits where you go up to it and you smell. The scents are artificial, so whenever you smell like a orangutan butt, it's actually just like a scratch and sniff smell, butt smell.
So there's going to be a market for if you're this is happening, there's going to be a market for selling stickers that have like rhino butts or whatever, and then it's scratch and sniff. Why go to the museum when you could have it right here on your sticker book?
I've got so much I want to say, and so many things that I decide if I should say it. Um, so I'm just going to. That's always the best policy, right? You're familiar with a site called OnlyFans, right? Have you ever heard of them?
No, what's that?
Okay,
Just
well,
kidding.
it's a site. And women entrepreneurs on there, they will sell their undergarments, right?
Right.
Right. And I think men want to get these undergarments and kind of do a kind of a smell.
Oh.
What would stop a young entrepreneur from having scratch and sniff stickers that she sells? Just
Right.
saying, there is a
So we
I smell
actually
opportunity.
I created more income revenue right now by that sticker thing.
100%. Yeah, you need to.
Contact all the OnlyFans creators. Would you like to make a sticker of your?
I've got to. We need to. I got to flesh this out. How does this work out? Do they get the stickers and get direct application to the scent provider? Or do you somehow create this scent in a lab?
I think so you swab whatever it is,
your
right?
area.
You swab.
Yeah.
And then you send it to a scent lab and they identify what ingredients could recreate that. And then you freaking pour them all over the stickers and then you sell these sticker packs. And then we just invented something, Voice. Like we are freaking
We can do this.
multi-billionaires.
Yes, we can do this. I mean, gosh.
Why not, right? It's like everything else is weird. You're telling me about a museum exhibit about a scratch and sniff butt thing for animals. That's a real thing. So why not scale it all the way down to these?
You know who's
OnlyFans
going to do this? Kardashians, right? They've already had
yeah. We should
the
sell
muff
it to them.
underwear.
You need
Yes.
to pitch it to them.
Don't you have an in
Oh,
with
shoot, I
Mr.
do.
Barker? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and just be like, got you an idea. Yeah, there you go.
I feel like I've seen on TikTok too, like people will block the Kardashians. Travis, if you're watching this, I don't mean anything bad by it, but like that a lot of creators will block them because they'll take, and it's probably Kardashian teams will take what they see creations and then they don't ask permission and they just create it and then launch it and they're like, sue us. You have no money to.
Right, because they have all the money they need for a good legal team, and that family is got legal background.
The yin yang.
Well, yeah, you're right. All right, next up, nuclear testing. The truth behind Trump's nuclear testing call. Scientists and engineers are conducting subcritical nuclear weapons research, a crucial part of the National Nuclear Security Administration's stockpile stewardship program. Say that fast. Gosh.
Dude,
National
I don't even know how to
Nuclear
say it.
Security Administration stockpile stewardship program in response to Trump's call to resume nuclear testing. So, what do you think of this? Do you get nervous? Are you nervous about nuclear stuff? Is that something that keeps you up at night?
I think it's a triggering word nowadays because they continue to use it for years, like
Yes.
on mainstream media. So, I mean, I am worried, but then it's also been like a nothing burger, thank God, for a while. So, whatever. I'm not too worried because if it happens, it happens. And then
Let
that's
me
how
just
it
say
is.
this. Whenever, like 2016, when the Trump thing was first starting, and I was always like, he's a Republican. There's a lot of things that I can see eye to eye with him. But as I always said, does make me a little nervous with this guy's hand on the button, right? And that's never been really been an issue. But now he's talking nuclear testing. I don't know. It's a contentious time with Russia, Ukraine, Middle East. It's just a contentious time in the world. I don't really want to like move into like nuclear discussions through anything, and I don't want any of the other countries doing the same thing. So yes, this does make me a bit nervous that we're even having to discuss this. I mean, I get it. Each country needs to take care of themselves, and if for some reason there's intelligence that says that other countries are doing this, then the U.S. feels like they need to be ready in case a retaliatory attack needs to happen. But let's, as a Earth, not as a country, but as a planet, can we just decide not to blow up the place with nuke? Because nukes can really,
Yes.
yes,
It can really,
this isn't.
it can really go bad.
It would make 9/11 look like a blip on the radar, one of these nuclear attacks. And this has happened before, by the way, dropped by the U.S. So this isn't like I'm just talking about like a, theoretical things that could happen. This has actually happened. So yes, I get a little concerned about nuclear testing going on by our great country. But you're not. You sleep well, and you should. I'm not trying to make it
Do
where
you worry?
Yes. Yeah. I don't.
Like,
I don't like stay up
it
at
keeps
night.
you up? Oh,
No.
okay.
I sleep really well. I have like a
If we
sleep
ever get
mask.
nuked, I hope I'm sleeping.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna stop the thing. How do you sleep? Do you sleep with anything special? Do you have a sound machine or anything special like that to help you sleep?
No.
I've got a sound machine, and I sleep with like a sleep mask on, and something to go over
Oh
my
my
eyes.
gosh, what a diva. Yes.
I'm very sensitive to light, right? So if somebody opens up a bathroom door and light comes in, I'm kind of vampire-like and anyway, yes, I wear an eye mask. You should think about the eye mask, Christine. It would you would get even better sleep than you're currently getting as you're not worried about anything nuclear. All right, next up, Wendy's. Y'all do have Wendy's out there in Cali, right?
Yeah. Wendy's is really cool in the way of like, I'm not super fast food person, but I don't mind Wendy's when you're in a pinch. And then their Twitter is so, or their X
Yes.
account is so awesome. I think that they're the first ones that started using that marketing
Yes.
strategy where they talk crap to other fast food places or yourself, like if you tweet them.
Right. Well, unfortunately, they are going to close hundreds of restaurants over the next few months as they have a company-wide overhaul. It says it's unclear which locations will be shuttered, but it's going to take a hard look at underperforming restaurants. So if you've got a Wendy's franchise that's near you, Christine, and you are not supporting it like you should, then they may have to make the hard decision to close down that Wendy's. They said taking a hard look at underperforming restaurants in our system from both financial and customer experience perspective and working with franchisees to improve those, they could potentially close them, which will help unlock capital to reinvest into the system. Are they publicly traded? Can I?
I believe so.
Here,
If not, they need to open it up to do so. But Wendy's has to be one of my most favorite X accounts. And then McDonald's and everybody started jumping on that. If you think about that, that's a dream job, right? Like, could you go roast people on the Wendy's account or on the McDonald's account? And the Wendy's, like, all you're doing is like, yeah, your mom, like, oh, this or that. Super
Yeah, that
good.
would be fun. And McDonald's has done that recently. I just brought up the year to date for Wendy's, and it is not good.
What's a ticker?
Okay, the ticker is WEN. Okay, but here's what you need to know: on January the 1st of this year, it was $16.17, and today it is $8.79.
You want to know why, though? It
Why?
has to be because the economy's just not doing well. In fast food, you would think booms during like recession like economies, but like they're having to bring up their prices
Yes.
incredibly high. And McDonald's just reported that they're not getting the low income customers walking through the door anymore or
Yep, I
ordering.
saw that.
And everyone's like, oh, you saw that? And they're like, I wonder why. Like your meals are like $12, $15. Like that doesn't, and you guys got rid of your dollar menu and they're like, well, this is what we have to do. So
No, I
it's
completely
crazy.
agree. Used to, in other bad economies that we've had in this great country of ours, fast food would be still cheap, right? But now we've gotten it to where the fast food is actually very expensive, very, very expensive. So, yeah, I get it. It makes it to where it just doesn't make any sense to be able to do that. All right, this one, some many stories I'm not affected personally by. Like, I don't know that Wendy's closures is really going to affect my day to day. But this one, Christine, affects my week to week at the least. Disney has a dispute with YouTube TV. There's an ongoing carriage dispute between YouTube TV and Disney, and that's ABC and ESPN, due to YouTube TV demanding lower rates from Disney than other major TV distributors. If Disney agrees to these terms, it would have to offer the same rates as Comcast, Charter, and DirecTV due to the most favored nation clauses in existing contracts. Is this affecting your household where ESPN can't be watched right now? Are you feeling the pinch here?
I am feeling the pinch.
I am too. I can't watch
You are
ESPN.
too?
Well, I can't watch ESPN. YouTube TV and Disney ruins everything. This is okay.
Hey, let's talk about that because that's real. They do. And they, speaking of Disney, the Disneyland Resort over here, where like, pass holders, they increase the membership, the annual membership
I'm
every
sure.
single year. And it almost feels like a push out to where they want to see, hey, what's that number
What
that
are you willing to
just,
pay?
yeah, and then they're just like, hey, this was a big hit, this number right here. So we will stay here. And it's incredibly insane. And their raises, like on even churros or water or whatever, it's not like 50 cents. It's like, oh, five
Let's
dollars
triple the
$5
price.
raise.
Right. Let's triple the
Yeah.
price. No, look at what Disney acquires Star Wars. Star Wars now sucks. Disney acquires ESPN. Caitlyn Jenner
Tell us
is
how you really
yes.
feel.
Caitlyn Jenner is now the man of the year, the woman of the year, whatever. Okay, Disney decided to go. ESPN decided to go woke. Now nobody cares about the ESPN networks anymore. Now the one thing that they do have is their football contracts, and I want to watch some Monday Night Football. Okay, not last night, but the week before, the Cowboys were on, and I like to watch the Dallas Cowboys lose. 16 times a year. And I couldn't watch the Dallas Cowboys lose because Disney and YouTube TV can't get in agreement, and I'm pissed, and I don't like Disney. Let me look up their ticker. What's Disney's ticker? Is
DIS. DIS.
I hope they are bleeding. Let's see. Let's go year to date. They're not
You know,
bleeding, and that
of
makes
course not.
well, they started out at
Because
110 and then they bottomed out in April at $81. So 110 to 81. But now they're back up to $114. And I don't like it. Investors, do something.
protest. I've even said to a lot of annual membership holders as well, it's like, if we don't like it, we just stop. Like you protest with your wallet and stuff. And then we're just side eyeing each other, like, who's going to do it first? Nobody. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep paying. Oh, and by the way, their parking, they've brought it from, it was 30, right? So every time $30 to park, they're like, oh, we had to raise it 40,
Right.
$10 more.
Until
Like it's,
finally you don't go anymore. And maybe
Mhm.
that's what they want because maybe travel, because you're local, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're just like, oh, well, whenever you go on vacation, you'll pay whatever because you're on vacation. Maybe they're looking to price out the locals. I don't know, and make it to where it's just
You
travelers.
think that's what it
Oh, I
does
don't know.
feel like that. But you would think Vegas is taking that hit too, and a lot of the locals there are like, you guys aren't doing well because you're not catering to the locals. Like it should be free parking for locals. It should
Yes.
be, discounted. And maybe they're trying to push out locals as well because that's what it feels like with Disney. But
Uh,
yes, Disney ruins everything. Even though I'm a huge fan of going to Disneyland, it does, as a company, ruin everything. Walt Disney's probably pissed in
Oh,
his
he'd be
grave.
so pissed
Yeah.
right now. Alexander, by the way, says they did mess up Star Wars. He said, I said it. So, yes. Star Wars fans are mad. Now, I did go to Disney World, okay, and I did go to Galaxy's Edge, which is the Star Wars section, right? And I loved it. I loved it.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you not like it? Because I like it.
I love Star Wars, and they set it in a period of time. They handled it well because a lot of what they do is like the Millennium Falcon and the things like that before Disney ruined things. So uh, Disney ruins everything.
Oh
Just
my
just
gosh.
keep that in mind. Now, I do have Disney Plus, but that's because I have children and I have to deal with that. But they'll push their woke stuff on me too. So anyway, yeah, I got Alexander fired up with my Disney
Yeah,
talk.
you did.
And I'm fired up. All right. Well, that's I'm ready for you to be fired
Oh
up
yeah.
because you.
Let me put my glasses.
Yeah, put on your glasses. She's going to become Clark Kent here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about Trump. The other day decided he was going to tell us that you could get a 50-year mortgage, very long mortgage term. Let's find out if that's a good idea in Christine's Corner.
Christine's Corner, where the buzz is hot. Crypto trends or the latest pop plot. From gadgets that glow to stars in the sky. If it's on her mind, you know it's gonna fly. So plug in, tune in, let's take that ride.
All right, let's take that ride, Christine.
Let's take that Disney ride.
That's Disney ride.
50-year mortgage.
That's right. So Trump tells us that a 30-year mortgage may be too short and that maybe we should look into 50-year mortgages. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of debate on X whenever this was announced. What did you think? Is this a good or a bad idea?
So I'd like your thoughts, like always, at the end of this, but I feel torn. It's like 50-50 because 30 years is already long. And I felt like that was like a broken kind of slave system to, the banks and stuff. But I guess the pros of it would be, okay, maybe other people need another option, the 50-year mortgage, which is so funny to me. I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, the average age nowadays, especially in California, of the first-time home buyers is like 40s. So imagine taking a 50-year
You're going to have to be
mortgage
90
loan.
whenever you pay it off.
90. And
Yeah.
that's if you pay it off and the banks don't do anything. And how about if you die suddenly and then you didn't like put things into place where a lot of, that happens often. And then your children or family will have to decide if they're going to save the house or they're just going to let it go back to the bank and they'll shove the 50-year option loan to somebody else and then just all your money that you had is just done. But there is a lot of people that are excited about it and same amount of people that are not. But if you guys are wondering, the 50-year mortgage is a new option that Trump has been teasing around because the conventionally 30-year loan is what has been the tradition. The pros of the 50-year mortgage, okay, is lower monthly payments. So you have greater cash flow flexibility, easier qualification and access. Since the payment's lower, it enables borrowers to qualify for a larger loan because you're going to be paying this till you're 90 or 100 years old. Potential strategic use for investors or short-term holders. So if someone knows they're going to move or refinance on relatively short periods, 5 to 10 years, the slower amortization may not hurt as much. Budgeting freedom for other goals. So because of lower monthly payments, you're going to be able to, I guess, successfully meet other goals like buying a RV or going on vacation. A lot of people associate buying a home nowadays because it's so high, especially here in California. Like you're going to buy a house, but you can't do family vacations anymore. So I guess there may be a chance of you still going on vacation. The cons of a 50-year mortgage is much higher total interest costs, and that just makes sense. Slow equity build, so you're going to have a weak principal reduction. Longer debt burden into older age and retirement, like 90s, 80s, 90s. Higher interest rate risk and underwriting challenges. So lenders consider longer terms riskier. So the interest rate might be higher than the comparable 30-year loan. Right. And this could push up home prices and inflate the demand. So I was thinking about this because I was telling you I was studying on and off like the real estate market just to see. I would think it would drive people to the market, but then what is everyone going to do? If you're going to offer the 50-year mortgages, they're going to drive the prices up. So it kind of just ends up where it's been.
Yeah.
And then risk of being underwater. So the little mobility, if you've built little equity and the market dips, you may owe way more than your home is worth. So who might this be good for? Um, I don't even really know. Like you'd have to be like in your 20s or something for this to make sense. Like
Yeah.
I don't see you being like 40 or 50 being like, "Wow, I could go get a home now and let me put this 50-year loan into play." But I mean, people were saying they're excited about it. I don't know how to feel about it. I think it's good to have as an option if you're younger. I don't like high interest at all. I
Have
would
you
be
really
trying
ran
to
into people in like the studio that are like excited about it?
I ran into people on social media that I
Okay.
went back and forth with, and they were like, well, why not? Like, houses are unaffordable. This is going to let us get into that and own a home, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but are you really 50 years later? You're going to really own that
Right.
home. It's almost like a bigger win for the banks, like as usual. And then the interest just, they want you in debt longer. That's
They do.
always the goal.
Yes.
So to me, I think there's a what I see is people won't be able to really stick to the 50-year loan. They die off. The banks take it again. They shove this house into the market again. It's like a win-win for them, if anything, and a lesser win for us. But what do you
So you ask what I think, and your last point is the one that will be my biggest point, and that is the banks win no matter what here. The banks just obviously win here. I've got pros and cons too. One of the pros, because I started saying like, well, why don't we just do a 15-year car note, right? Because that's just about as silly, right? It's a
Oh
15-year
my
car note.
god. The car's going to be dead.
Well, right, and there's the difference, and so what you just now said is the difference. And this is I'm not going to say many pluses, but this is one of the
Okay.
pluses for the 50-year, is at the least, as a general rule, houses and property goes up on the macro level. When you zoom out and look at prices of properties, generally, especially over 50 years, that's way zoomed out.
Okay.
Generally, the price you buy your house for is going to be quite a bit more valuable in 50 years from now. Okay. This isn't like a 15-year car note in that, like you
Right.
said, in 15 years, your car is a depreciating asset. It's going to be worth
Mhm.
basically $0 in
Right.
15 years. But the house, you're going to buy it. I'm just going to choose numbers here. You're going to buy it at $100,000, and in 50 years, it's going to be worth $500,000, right? So, again, just
Maybe.
cowboy math here. Yeah, yeah. I guarantee you, if you look at what houses were 50 years ago, they were a fraction of what they are
Right,
now.
right.
In the 50 years before that, it was a fraction of what they were. 100 years ago, they were a fraction of what they are 50 years ago.
Mhm.
So I have no doubt that that is a positive thing. However, Let me read this tweet that I thought was good. It says, "If you buy a $500,000 house with a 50-year mortgage at 6.5%, which is probably what you'd get, you'll end up paying 1.7 million total for this $500,000,
Yes. How
3 times the house price.
insane.
Crazy.
How insane is that? And I think that's the best, simply put, like sentence to
It just
make
shows
you
you.
figure out if it makes sense. No.
Well, it says,
But some people are like, yeah, that's
but the
great.
worst part is it says you'll never get the house. You take the mortgage at age 35. After
Hmm.
30 years, you've paid $1 million to the bank. After 30 years, you're now 65, you have no job, and you can't afford the mortgage payment. The bank will then sell your house. At this time, the
Correct.
bank still owns 75% of the house. Because, by the way, after that 30 years, you have 20 years left, and you only own 25% of your house after 30 years. So you've paid $1 million and only get
Hmm.
25% of that sell price. The bank pocketed $1 million, still owns 75% of the house, and they add a little money, and the bank owns the whole house, and you will sell it to the next mortgage victim, and it'll do it all
Isn't
over
that
again.
insane? Like, and this brings up that debate where a lot of people are like, is it, nowadays, is it better to rent or own? And I've had this conversation with a lot of my wealth advisor clients that
Yes.
I tattoo. And they're like, I would never think I would say this, but renting now is probably better because the banks are so aggressive and they're your landlord as well. And then a lot of times, Like, especially with this option that's going to come up, I just feel like I don't
Well,
know anymore, guys.
one other little stat, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to have to kind of wing it here. I saw a stat that currently with 30-year mortgages, only like 10 to 15% of people actually like see that 30-year mortgage through. They refinance, they move, they do all kinds of things like that. So very few people, maybe this is a pro, very few people get to the end of their note anyway. They move, they refinance, they whatever. So that's something to keep in mind as well. In the end,
Crazy.
like right now, you can get a 30-year. Some people will even do a 15-year mortgage, and most
Who
people
the hell
take the
could afford that?
well, most people take the 30-year mortgage, right? Because
Right.
15-year makes it to where your daily your yearly expenditure toward your monthly cost for your mortgage is pretty high at a 15-year. It's a lot cheaper at a 30-year. This is very akin to the automobile industry. Whenever you ever went in and they're like, "How much are you looking to spend each month?" Right? And you're like, "Oh, I don't know, $700." And they're like, "Great." They pick the car, they pick the terms, and next thing you know, you've got a 7-year auto note, which we said 15 as a joke, but 7-year does happen, and they'll just do that so they can make the payment happen for what you want it to be. This is very similar in the housing market, so where they can just be like, "Oh, you want to pay how much per month? $2,000? Great, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out till it's $2,000. Here it is." And some people will sign and not ask us another question.
It's the excitement of just that
Homeowner.
initial, they're selling you on that hype right there. And
Yep.
then 30 days or a year later, you're like, I don't know if let me look at that paperwork. Doesn't feel right. I don't feel right. And it's like, yeah, because they conned you.
Yeah, right. No, you're absolutely right. This is a bad thing. If you're wanting me to pick a side, this is bad. There is a place
Yeah.
that it could be good. There is a place that it could be good, but for most people, this is not good. And remember,
No.
we're not comparing a 30-year to 50-year mortgage. We're comparing a 50-year mortgage to renting, right? So,
Mhm.
is it better to rent or to do a 50-year mortgage and at least get some amount of equity for what you're paying? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Or you just set up like an IRA account or like some like high yield investment account that you could, like, I don't know. There's just so much more other
Yeah.
things you could do.
Buy Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, let's talk about this. You said,
I did.
you said today
Go on.
that Bitcoin would be under $100,000. You said that last week.
I
What
did.
is it at today?
It's
Let's see.
103,286. And
great.
you, everybody put a little +1 on your screen next to Christine. She said it would stay above 100,000 1 week from today. And here we are. She knows ball. Okay. She knows ball, and she properly predicted it as to where I was bearish and said that we would be under 100,000, and I was not correct.
Okay. How about next week? Where are we going to be?
I will here every week. I'm going to set an over under for us. Okay. Last week the over under was 100,000. Next week the over under is 105,000. Over or under? 105. We're at 103. What did I say? 103.3 right now. Okay, so
We will be next week.
105 above or below?
Below.
Below. Okay. I'll go above. All
of a sudden.
Yeah. I'll go above. I like to be the opposite of whatever. I'm you're Jim Cramer to me.
God damn it.
Or maybe I'm Jim Cramer to you. Yeah. I will say above. All right. So there you go, guys. Right now in fantasy of crypto, Christine is 1-0, and I am 0-1 on the year in fantasy crypto. We should do this. We should have like a whole league set up of fantasy crypto.
That'd
Just
be
everybody
good.
does over
I'm
unders.
surprised that's not like a thing.
I mean, whenever you play the crypto market, isn't that playing fantasy crypto
guess.
already? I mean, it's kind of
But
already
like
done.
leagues.
Yeah, like leagues. That would be kind of cool. All right, let's do voice lessons. I want to talk about AI.
Voice lessons, you'll hear it loud and clear. Tech and crypto is and the truth is here. Big thoughts, bold moves, cutting through the haze. When the voice speaks up, you'll be amazed. So
You will be amazed. All right. Are we scared of an AI bubble? So AI is dominating every conversation that we have, whether we're talking about investors, whether we're talking about just trends. AI completely dominates almost everything that we do on this show and in our lives. Christine, are you to a point where you do something with AI every day? Do you talk to ChatGPT at least once every day?
Yeah, ChatGPT and I are best friends, and I have nothing else to say.
I had a
It's taken
friend.
over my life.
Have you ever heard somebody that says like, "Hey, what's up, chat? Chat, am I cooked?"
Oh my gosh, I
I-
want to start saying that. Hey, chat.
Yeah, well, we have a chat here. We can actually do that.
Yeah.
I had a friend that actually thought that whenever people say like, "Hey, what's up, chat?" That it was ChatGPT that it was referring to, rather than like a streaming chat. So no, it's not ChatGPT. Did you think that? Let me just ask that.
No, I always thought it came from like the streamers
Yes.
on Twitch, right? Yeah. So I always thought, but I feel like everyone uses it for everything now.
Yes, yeah, it's absolutely bad. Yes, I heard in Little League baseball the other day, somebody turned around and they said, "Is my
Hey,
swing?"
chat.
They said, "Is my swing broke, chat?" I was like, "Yeah, it's broke. It's broke, man."
Oh, what is this world? This is so crazy.
All right. I lost my tab. Too many tabs. All right. So AI is huge. Everybody's doing AI with everything, but is it a bubble? Eventually, are we going to see a .com kind of crash like we did in the early 2000s? Well, let's talk about cost real quick. There's the cost for these high-end AI GPUs, okay, the graphical processing unit, and it's huge. The NVIDIA H100, which is one of the top-of-the-line ones, those cost $25,000 each for direct purchase. So if you're going to do a whole data center, a whole server rack setup, one guide estimates that an AI server rack can exceed $500,000. So there's huge costs in acquiring these data centers to run AI. Then on top of that, what do they need to run these data centers? Oh, something we've already talked about, electricity, right? So then you have to pay for the electricity on top of that. So on a large scale, data centers, AI globally, will require $6.7 trillion by 2030. In the U.S. is $5.2 trillion of that for AI-specific builds. The operational cost may take around 1.5% of global electricity. And if it nearly doubles, we could be by 2030 getting about 3 or 4 times that. So remember how earlier I said private equity would be investing in electricity? Well,
Yeah.
they've got to do that to be able to run all these data centers, to be able to do that.
Insane.
So is it a bubble? When you combine the massive upfront GPU cost, the large infrastructures, the servers, the racks, the cooling, the power hookups, all of that, the soaring electricity and operational costs, you get a business model that only works if the revenue and monetization side actually scales. So whenever you're sitting there, what are you asking ChatGPT about? Is it like the mole on your shoulder? What are you asking about? Do you
Everything.
everything? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he mad at me? That sort of thing.
I know, right? Like to me, like I feel like it's because I would Google everything, right? But
Right.
I feel like it's a lot more accurate, hopefully. And then it's more personable and it talks to you the way you talk. So
It does, yeah, and you can tell it to you. You don't want to tell it to cuss at you; it will cuss at you. But all of this stuff, if the companies that take all of this cost on can't recoup that cost from you, then this is a bubble, and it won't be able to last. You've got private equity spending all of these dollars in upstarts that are promising to do what ChatGPT is doing. They're promising to create images, that are promising to create video, that are promising to create voiceovers, all of these things. And many of these, I will say this, many of these will fail. There's no way you can have, all of them are offering the same things, or some offshoot of the same thing. Eventually, some of them will fail. And I do believe, as far as is AI a bubble, do I think the entire industry will crash? No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But I think there will be a bloodshed moment where there are a lot of AI industries that completely go, face
Under.
down. Yeah, that will completely go under, and there will just be a few behemoths on top that last.
As
OpenAI is
usual.
OpenAI is probably one of them. Maybe Claude is another. There's a few other ones, but this is like Amazon coming out of the .com burst unscathed, not unscathed. They hurt for a bit, but they got to come out of it, and they were one of the powers now. Google, Microsoft, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see something similar happen with AI. So is it a bubble that'll pop completely? No. AI is here to stay, and it will completely change the world all around us.
Just
Will
no little guys.
There is not going to be any little guys. There's just not. Now, kind of like little guys, like I've got a nice GPU here that I can create things on, and I can do some of the things on my own computer, but I don't need a company to do that for me, and that's not going to be the case.
Imagine they make it illegal for us to like do our own. Like you can't have the GPU.
How are they going to catch? How are they going to catch me?
I don't know. How do they catch anybody doing anything? But in reality, they could just be like, "Hey, you're not supposed to."
They could indeed do that. But GPUs, if anybody asks, I just use it for gaming, bro. I love Fortnite, man. Love Fortnite.
Yeah.
And that's what I have it for.
Fortnite master.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you like knew when you were saying this, but the 15-year car loan.
Is that a thing?
I guess he just talked about it. The administration is considering introduction of 15-year car loans. Like, are you freaking kidding?
That's dumb. What this really is it's changing it from an ownership model to almost a rental model, because you would own so little of that thing. Have you ever, let me ask this. I'm sure I know the answer to your question. What's the longest you've ever owned a vehicle? One car.
The longest.
Yeah. What's your longest car you've ever had?
I would say it would probably be like 15-ish.
Really? Good for you if that's the
Yeah.
case. That makes you a lot. You're better than other people if that's the
But like,
case.
we're not driving it. It's just there.
I have a car that was my daily driver either 11 or 13 years. I can't remember how long I had it. In my adult life. Just sold it within since By the Rumor. No, maybe not since By the Rumor, but sometime in our time of knowing each other, I got rid of that car that I'd had for more than a decade, and it was either 11 or 13 years. Still wouldn't have made the 15-year car note.
See? That's crazy to me. Is it that, like, is he thinking about, do electrical vehicles, like, last a lot longer than?
So, yes and no. They don't break down really almost at all, but just like your phone, eventually the battery is what is going to get you. Like right now, my car, I got the long range one. I have the Tesla Model Y, and I have the long range one, and it will go for like 320 miles, right, on one charge. Okay, it's pretty good. But eventually, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of owning it, that battery is going to be a lot like my car battery, and it won't go 320 miles. It will go 220 miles on it. And it still may work fine, but, if it can't go range does mean something, especially whenever you can't just fill up with gas very easily. So
this is crazy.
Yeah. So yes, it can happen. So anyway, back to the AI thing. At what GPU cost threshold do businesses stop being speculative about what AI could be, and they start being demanding cash flow positive? And if that's the case, and the electricity goes up 200 and 300% in a region because of high intensity demand, then how does that affect margin? And then who absorbs the cost? You know who absorbs the cost from our food conversation. It's you and me. It's the consumer that'll absorb the cost. And what will consumers do? They'll start being a little more choosy on what AI services they use. And this is the reason why I do think there is somewhat of a bubble, or a risk for a bubble that could happen. Maybe it's not for a long time, maybe because it's not everybody is using AI like they will. And so maybe this is some time down the road, but eventually PE demands results, and once they don't see results, they will take away their funding, and then that's whenever we will see that this bubble burst for sure. Are you going to be
Yeah.
getting a 15-year car note?
I'm just so. Someone put Ferrari has entered the chat.
You're ready to get a Ferrari for $200 a month?
Oh my God. I can't believe this. Like, is this the 15-year car loan and 50-year home mortgages as options? Is this more of a political move?
Yes.
Or because what?
It's Trump wants to be remembered for
Something?
Yeah, well, he wants to be remembered as like this great, great president. And I am telling you, it wouldn't surprise me if by the end of his term, he makes a big push. Get ready for this prediction. He makes a big push to be on Mount Rushmore. That's the type of president he wants to imagine himself being, is on Mount Rushmore. So he wants to do something great that changes the trajectory of the nation, right? And so, and I think this is where the Gulf of America comes in. And he wants you to learn about America and for him to be part of the story about, oh, we don't call it the Gulf of Mexico anymore. It's the Gulf of America. And, President Trump introduced the 50-year mortgage to us, and that allowed us to all
This makes sense.
have prosperity.
Yeah.
This is all self-serving, and I don't know that it's always for the better for the American people. Now, I'm telling you, there probably is some portion of people that this 50-year mortgage makes sense for them. I haven't.
Yeah, if you're 20, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know you're right. Can you imagine getting something and you're like, hey, when you're 70, this will be all yours.
Granted that you haven't refinanced a million times too.
Correct. And also, what happened in the 2008 crash? You had a lot of people getting home loans that shouldn't have been getting home loans.
This is
right?
that's what it looks like.
Yes. And so you're going to have people getting into a home that shouldn't be homeowners at all. They do not have the funds to be able to do that. And they'll lose that home. The bank will be the winners out of that. And yeah, the banks win in this either way. If this is a success or not a success, the banks win.
Yeah, all the time. And then I was like, well, I better hurry up and get my real estate because I feel like demand is going to come in. Even though people know it's probably not a good idea, they're just so entranced by the idea of, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to own a home and I wasn't able to, and he's letting me now, like with this option, not considering like you're paying way more interest. Like what you said, a $500,000 home would end up being 1.5 million, like in interest. Like that's crazy, but okay.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, this has been a good conversation the whole time. I was a little more fired up today. I want to bring that energy for the future episodes.
Fired up.
I do. I want to stay fired up. I do want to mention Alexander. He wanted to clean up his Star Wars comment. He said, after Star Wars The Force Awakens, they messed the story up. And I would agree with Alexander there. Episode 7, it's okay. 8, awful. 9, they're just trying to fix how awful 8 was. So anyway, Disney screws up everything. AI could be a bubble. 50-year mortgage, maybe not such a great idea for most people. There we go. Did I just summarize? I just AI summarized our entire show. So that's how you do that.
Well, thank God for that. Next week, talk about 15-year car loans.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's say it sounds like from the story you just read that actually may be the case. All right, everybody. Alexander still listens to us. He just gave a little emoji. I think it's too small for me to read, but yeah, I think it's a little like salute emoji.
Salute. Happy Veterans Day.
Yes, happy Veterans Day. And you know what we forgot to do? We always forget to do this, Christine. We forgot to like beat people over the head to share out the space today, but that's okay.
Oh my gosh!
You and I even talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that last time that we knew. Oh well. All right. Well, we will be back. We will be back next week for episode 33, and we're going to do this all over again. There's going to be crazy new stories. We're going to find out whether Bitcoin is up or above or below 105,000. Yes. Find out whether I'm the Jim Cramer of the show or Christine is the Jim Cramer of the show. And we'll find out all of the new stories. So until then, anything else you got to say, Christine, before I play the outro?
Keep your head up, guys. We're going to make it.
We're all going to make it. Not all you, except you.
Not all of you, only some.
I'm looking at you. You know I'm talking to you. You're not going to make it. No, I'm just kidding. We're all going to make it. Later, y'all.
Chasing the thrill of the digital hive. built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the roar, the story unfolds. Fortunes are built in the data it holds. From crypto skies to entertainment streams, pushing the edge, chasing dreams unseen. By the rumor where the silence screams, in a world of risks and electric dreams. Take on the future, take the ride. Sharp minds up on the darker side. Sharp minds up on the darker side. Charts don't lie, but the faces do. Watch the market sway like it's destined you. The gossip's currency is hard to ignore. Behind locked doors lies so much more.
Oh no. Okay, wait a second.
Oh no.
All right, I was on the wrong. I have to be on a certain part to be able to like end the stream properly. Or